When you're outside and you're looking at a squirrel, at a mouse, at grass, each blade of grass, a rock, whatever you perceive has consciousness, because it is made up of individual atoms, and each atom has consciousness. So that camera, although it has a lot of metal and glass and so on, has consciousness because it's made of atoms. We need to realize that that's how it works. The Creator is the ultimate consciousness. And whatever you perceive him or her to be, we can't begin to understand what our Creator is. Our mind is too small to fathom the Creator. It is sufficient for us to just know that he is the prime creator. You can call him whatever name you want, God, Jesus, doesn't matter. But somebody created all of this. That entity has all the consciousness, and it gave us consciousness, and it gave everything else in our creation, in our reality, consciousness. And a lot of people don't want to admit that, or they can't get their head around that. How can a rock have consciousness? Well, they don't think in terms of atoms and protons and electrons swirling around. Everything moves and revolves at the subatomic level and at the macro level. The Milky Way moves around other galaxies. Our solar system, which is a little solar system, and there are many solar systems in the Milky Way galaxy. Everything revolves, everything turns. Nothing stays straight, it always swirls. Water swirls. Water, as it flows around rocks. It energizes itself. That's why most of the water we drink that comes out of the faucet is dead water. Why? Because we're pumping it at pressure, high pressure, through straight lines, copper, older ones, plastic pipes, whatever, and we have rectangles. Water never moves in rectangles. Water always flows around a rock. There are no rectangles when water flows. It would not be able to energize itself. So observe water in a creek. Look what it does. It self-energizes itself by the rocks. And when the river flows in curves. It doesn't like to flow in straight lines. Because as it goes over to one bank, and as it goes over this bank, it recharges itself. Always there's a recharge in the water, in water motion. Victor Schauberger discovered that long ago. And that's another thing that we should be conscious of. You want to do this alone, otherwise people will think that you have gone south. If you're putting out positive thoughts, or you're out in the forest, or you see a squirrel or a chipmunk or so on, and you send it a nice thought, oh, how lovely to see you, how are you? When you speak the words out loud, they have more oomph because of the resonance. That's why when the Tibetans discovered that thousands of years ago, Om. See, it's the sound that creates the positive impact. And when you get 200 monks doing that at the same time, can you imagine the energy? Wow. The sound of the voice is very, very important. And nobody teaches us that. It's very important. Sound. Look at music. When we listen to music, when Masaru Emoto said, when you bless your water, you send love, or you put a sticker, I love you, on your water jug, it affects the water. If you can at all, say it out loud. Say more things out loud. Smile and say hello to people and see what reaction you get. They're not likely to curse you when you do that. So sound is very important, but we forget that so often. So whatever we send out is permanently recorded. Why would you send out horrible pictures, negative, destructive, violent, hurtful, harmful pictures or sounds. When you become conscious, you prevent yourself from doing that because you know better. It's better not to say anything at all, but send something positive out. It's that easy. It is a gift to the universe because you are a creator, you are a God, you're a piece of God. But we are fractals. And if you take a tiny piece of a hologram, the entire hologram is in that tiny little piece. Fractals work the same way. So each of us is a piece of the Almighty, of the Prime Creator. The whole universe, the whole world is inside us. And it's inside us, and we need to find it inside us. And the forces over the last few thousand years have prevented us from going inside us and discovering the true mighty powers that reside in us in silence. And they seduce us with the external world, with materialism, with gadgets, with things. And they want you to focus on things, material things, you see. Can't take those with you. But all the good thoughts and all the good feelings and all the good things you do, all your random acts of kindness that you send out to strangers who don't know you, you don't know them, but it's an act of kindness. Those are the things that go into the storage room on the other side, and you will also see the bad things that you've done. So once you become conscious, you have a big say in if you're going to create good thoughts and send them out, or destructive or negative or harmful acts. And that's what consciousness is all about. Stopping yourself when you want to say something negative. You don't have to say it. Observe, look around, but don't judge, don't be critical. And as soon as you can do that to yourself, you know you're on the road to ascension, to consciousness. And that's how we improve ourselves, one little step at a time. And we'll still fall down, we'll still do things that we shouldn't do and say things we shouldn't say. But we are conscious enough to realize that it's up to us. It's up to us.